Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is me, Anis.Rahman, finally MBBS student at Abbottabad International Medical Institute, and you are watching Anis.Medventure. Well, this video is a continuation of our series on modular system discussions. After our first video, this is the second video, and the topic today is general guidelines for modular system in first year MBBS. Well, there is too much to talk about it, but we'll, for the sake of simplicity and for the sake of comprehensiveness, we'll break our discussion into 5 major segments or domains. First, I'll just discuss some general consideration once you step into first year MBBS. Second, I'll discuss the subjects in first year MBBS. Third, I'll go to the modular breakdown and blocks in first year MBBS and their integration with the subjects in first year MBBS. Fourth, I'll discuss the resources that need to be used in first year MBBS. And finally, I'll discuss how to integrate those resources in a way that learning oriented study and exam oriented study is balanced with an example. So let's begin with our discussion. Just a disclaimer that this video might be a longer one, so if we can't complete our discussion in this first video, we might break it into 2 parts. But for the time being, let's begin with our first part of general considerations once you step into first year MBBS. Well, there are 5 general considerations I consider that every first year MBBS student should know. Number 1 is that once you step into MBBS, this is a different world than your FSC or A-levels you were in at your college. Because now most of the time you are on your own. In FSC or in A-levels, specifically in FSC, your teachers used to hold your finger and walk you step by step towards your exam, towards your studies, every question marked, and same syllabus you have studied, whatever you have studied, that was supposed to appear in exam. But that is not the case here. Here the resources are extensive, the syllabus is extensive, and your teachers at college are mostly your facilitators rather than step-by-step teachers. So you have to more depend on self-study. So this is first consideration you have to keep in your minds. Yeah. So secondly, you have to understand that do not fall into the trap of comparison. This trap of comparison is very dangerous demon which will eat you from inside. By this I mean that don't compare yourself with others in your class who is using what or who is studying from which resources, who is studying from which thick book and I'm studying this smaller book, or someone is studying from three resources and I'm only using 1 resource, and someone is scoring above 90th centile and I'm just going above 70. And this comparison and comparing, if you are a private student, comparing yourself with a student at public medical college. So this comparison, this is just abolished once you enter into a professional degree. Not just for MBBS students, but students at large. Once you enter into a professional degree, you are colleagues more than competitors. So you have to help each other out rather than competing with each other. So helping will bring you more. So you have to go with this abundance mentality and this cornucopia of abundance rather than restricting yourself with the specific resources which you don't want to share with others. So that mentality won't work here. That is the second consideration. Thirdly, you have to understand that now you have to balance between learning oriented study and exam oriented study. Well, I won't discuss this in detail. We'll integrate this learning oriented study and exam oriented study into the resources which I'll discuss at the end, because I have broken down resources also into learning oriented resources and exam oriented resources. But for the time being, you have to understand that learning is an attitude which you have to develop. It's not a choice that okay, today I want to learn something, let's go to the school and I'll learn something. It's not that way. It doesn't work that way. Learning is an attitude, not a choice. So you have to be of learning mentality. So if you have learning mentality, in whatever situation you are, you'll never be bored. So if you are of learning mentality, you will love what you do. And that is my next consideration, that is the fourth consideration, that love what you do. It is rightly said that if you love what you do, you will never have to work a day in your life. So how do you love what you do? Well, for that reason, for that purpose, you will have to respect what you do. Respect comes first. You might have heard na, that adab pehla kareena hai mohabbat ke qareenon mein. So if you start with respect, respect yourself, respect your institute, respect your teachers, respect your colleagues, whatever comes in front of you, if you just learn how to respect someone, somebody, or something, you will just achieve a different level of bliss. And I just don't want to go into the details of psychology, but that's the fourth consideration I want you to make, that love what you do. And number 5, otherwise you will be exhausted by the end of the day. And number 5, find true mentors. And that's very true, because see, there are a lot of online resources in this digital world. What I am talking to you is through an online platform, but while talking to you through a video, I am asking you to not depend solely on videos. How ironic is that? But that is true. That, see, not everything can be caught up by online resources. You have to talk to your seniors, you have to find mentors. So finding a mentor, this is a 5th consideration, finding a mentor who is sincere, who is honest, and who is capable of being a mentor. That is very important, and that is very true for myself. Even when I went to first year MBBS, I didn't even know A of anatomy, but I found a mentor, alhamdulillah, and then things paced up. So finding a mentor in professional degree is very important, because see, now it's just like you talking to your friend on a video call, and you sitting with your friend at a restaurant, talking and eating and hugging and smiling and laughing, and both feelings are different. So it's just like watching just videos like this or talking to a mentor. These videos can facilitate you, these can help you, these can supplement your primary education, but they can never replace it. So these are the 5 primary considerations I want you to make once you enter the first year MBBS. After you have made these considerations, we come to the second part, that is the subjects of first year MBBS. Well, in first year MBBS, you might have studied, there are 3 subjects: anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. Anatomy is further subdivided into gross anatomy, embryology, histology. But there is also a 4th subject which most of you might have neglected, or your seniors might not have told you, or just said that this is minor, okay, you don't need to worry about it. But I'm warning you that this modular system, if you have watched my previous video, you might be knowing that this modular system, vertical integration is very important. So the 4th subject or subjects, the 4th part rather, I would say, are vertically integrated subjects. They are medicine, surgery. There is very little proportion of medicine and surgery in first year MBBS, but there are lectures, and they are even tested for in exam, though little proportion, but they are tested. So, and they are important in integration of the to achieve the maximum out of this modular system. So these 4 subjects you need to keep under consideration. I don't prefer to call these minor subjects. I prefer to call these vertically integrated subjects, the 4 subjects, and I want you to call them vertically integrated subjects, because your psychology in your subconscious then considers these subjects as minor once you start calling them minor subjects. Okay. So these are the 4 subjects. Now, since we have discussed in our first videos that you will not be tested subject wise and you will not study subject wise, you will study module wise and block wise. So we go to our 3rd part of this video. What are modules and blocks? Well, in first year MBBS, you will be tested upon in 3 blocks: block A, B, C. Block A is constituted of 2 modules, foundation module and blood module. Block B is constituted only of 1 single module, that is musculoskeletal module. Block C is constituted of 2 modules, that is CVS and respiration. Well, now these blocks and modules, these are these are not individual blocks. These are integrated subject-wise blocks, as we have discussed in our first modules. For example, the first block A, the first module, foundation. This foundation module will now have introductory chapters from anatomy, introductory chapters from physiology, introductory chapters from biochemistry. So all those chapters combined, you will study them in this foundation module, and you will be tested upon, if you have a modular exam at your institute, you will be tested upon all chapters combined in a single paper, right? So this is how modular exam works. But in the professional exam, of course, you will be tested block wise, block A, block B, block C, and these exams will be broken down of each module into two components. One will be theory exam, MCQ exam, that will be mostly 120 questions, and second will be OSPI or OSCE exam, that is practical sort of exam where there are stations and you have to circulate in stations. That is also approximately 120 marks for each paper in general. So we'll discuss in detail about OSPI in some other video. But for the time being, this is the third part of our video where we integrate our modules and blocks into our discussion.